Hello my brothers and sisters, this is Enemy Stand User here today, and in today's video we are going to be going over the oh so fun topic of Sukuna's trump card, because at this point it looks terrible for Sukuna. I mean, it's just flat out horrible how things worked out for him, and while the slander it's higher than it's ever been, the term fraud is being overused to hell, it's getting really rough out there. But I just wonder, why is it like this? Even if Sukuna hasn't lost yet, his performance is so far engraved in Shinjuku already. The cast thinks that Gojo has won because of the terrible state that Sukuna is in right now. He has no domain expansion, slow reverse curse technique healing, no Maharaga, and he really cannot fist fight Gojo with amplification anymore. By all means, Sukuna is cooked, but you guys all know, trust me, we all should know or expect, even at the 11th hour in battle, the enemy will show his final hand. And we know that Sukuna has a trump card in mind for this. I won't sugarcoat it. I pray it isn't too convenient as an option, because as we'll discuss today, there should be a good reason why Sukuna has to not only save it, but also why it's effective against an impenetrable curse technique such as Limitless. Because just imagine we entertain the idea that Sukuna's true form makes a difference. Say Sukuna was pushed this far, he's forced to tap into his demon form, a four-armed, two-faced specter with access to all of his hidden abilities and cursed tools, which would probably include divine instruments on the level of special grade, like Inverted Spear of Heaven or Black Rope. And all of a sudden, he gets his second wind, not only to fight Gojo at his level, but we'd also have to assume Sukuna has another way to bypass the Limitless, or everything else would just be irrelevant. We could assume Sukuna has things like poison, or perhaps he manipulates elements like lightning or fire, especially as we've seen. Maybe he has cursed tools like Vajra or Trishula, or the gift that Irozu made for him in order to defeat the Limitless technique. Obviously, Sukuna has refrained from revealing his true technique and keeps it hidden as insurance to fight everyone after Gojo. So maybe as a trump card, this is his greatest asset. Which obviously would make you wonder, why 10 Shadows then? Why go through this elaborate 4D chess of a plan to kill Gojo and adapt to the Limitless with Maharaga if he already had a solution? Although something the 10 Shadows did accomplish was getting rid of Gojo's domain expansion Unlimited Void and effectively winding down Gojo's options, because it quickly became a problem for Gojo. A problem enough that Gojo thought that he'd lose because of Maharaga. But as we saw, Gojo overcame Maharaga and quite literally took away all of the known options that Sukuna has to fight, leaving him like this. So what will he do? What is this trump card that Sukuna is hiding? Before, people had doubted that Maharaga was like this contingency plan, since 10 Shadows was even a factor back in chapter 228. But seeing the course of this fight and how it went down, Sukuna really did rely on Maharaga. And now that plan has sunk and Maharaga is no more, but it was a pretty good run since it almost defeated Gojo and got rid of Unlimited Void. So now I think it's time that Sukuna changed up his strategy and reveals what his shrine really is. Now, I'm not really a huge fan of Sukuna all of a sudden starting to bypass Limitless and turn the tables in this battle, because I was under the impression that Maharaga was Sukuna's way to deal with Gojo, and there's not really a way to use Shrine or 10 Shadows in tandem unless it was through a domain expansion, but now we're past domains, and Sukuna can't even touch Gojo. So what does Shrine do to Infinity? We saw earlier before, Sukuna knew he couldn't even touch Gojo, so he used Dismantle to attack with a building, and he had to use Amplification to even challenge Gojo. So if Shrine was already a viable option in the first place, those first 13 chapters were a hell of a roundabout way just to end up back at square one. Probably in even worse conditions than before, since, you know, Sukuna got his ass beat. However, there has to be some sort of payoff with Sukuna's shrine technique. It's probably the most anticipated ability in Jujutsu Kaisen. The amount of times I've seen fans say, wait till next chapter, wait till Sukuna says open, is literal insanity. Crazy. And there's a good chance that chapter 236 will be that chapter. In terms of lore, Sukuna's shrine is very deep, and it's a popular theory that it's likened to a demonic feretory, where shrine is a way to harness or store different cursed techniques or cursed weapons. If the weapons that Sukuna features in his cover art are important, then these tools obviously would have some significance, as Gege drew some influence from Hinduism. From Sukuna's weapons, the trident Trishula corresponds to a Hindu deity known as Lord Shiva. In legend, this trident is capable of destroying creation and vanquishing all beings. It's part of a class of weapons which were known for being extremely destructive, powerful, and irresistible, as you can imagine. The ball dagger weapon Vajra, the thunderbolt, which was also extremely powerful, and just like how Trishula was Shiva's weapon, the Vajra is associated with one specific Hindu deity that some Naruto fans may actually be familiar with. The Vajra is Lord Indra's weapon, or the god of thunder. But what's important is that whatever shrine turns out to be, or whatever Sukuna uses to open, he also has to find a means to break past Gojo's limitless as well. So we're going to see if these divine weapons will make that possible. Something else Sukuna's trump card may actually be could turn out as Hirozu's gift, because Hirozu's construction curse technique is the same as Mai Zenin's construction. You would expect it to be some kind of weapon, but since it's stated that she cannot make special grade cursed tools, then either only her death would allow her to create them, kind of like my situation, or she gave Sukuna something else powerful. Perhaps she would give Sukuna the ability to create a perfect sphere or some other means to bypass infinity. Now, honestly, thinking that out loud, I kind of hate that idea, because now that Sukuna has used everything that we know would work, he just up and pulls out a secret mouse tool that Hirozu gave him and supposedly would be able to beat Gojo with it. Now that situation would be a little on the nose in my opinion. However, this is not the end of Sukuna. That should be obvious enough. Even when Gojo is the winner of this battle, Sukuna still has things that he has not revealed yet. My worry is how Sukuna wants to bypass Limitless, and how will he beat Gojo? If Mahoraga is gone and domain amplification is no longer an option, what does he do? I think at this point, Sukuna has to reveal his shrine curse technique and exhaust his abilities like Black Box, or reverting back to his demon form if that changes anything. Many of us want to see that hailed king of curses in all of his glory, and maybe that won't have any real impact in terms of power, but seeing Sukuna like that will 100% have an impact on us readers, because so far Sukuna's portrayal, at least for me, is definitely not up to expectation and almost makes him seem underwhelming in comparison. So overall, definitely expect Sukuna to reveal his killer move as soon as next chapter. I trust with Gege it will be something worthwhile, and we will have a decent explanation as to why he saved the technique after 10 Shadows besides just being insurance, and why this supposed move would work on Satoru Gojo. But that's it for this one, my brothers and sisters. Please comment below what you think this trump card may be and how it can save Sukuna in his dire situation. But this has been Enemy Stand User, and I'll see you awesome guys in the next one. Bye bye.